Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be continuing my 2016 reading wrap-up with books 6 through 10. If you guys don't know, I'm doing my reading wrap-ups this year a little bit differently than I did in the past. I'm going to be wrapping up each set of 5 books that I read, and I'm not going to be doing monthly wrap-ups this year. Maybe I will, but for now, I'm just going to be doing 5 books. Whenever I finish 5 books, I will do a wrap-up. So the 6th book that I finished in 2015 So the 6th book that I finished in the year of 2016 was the Glass Gauntlet by Carter Roy. This is the 2nd book in the Bloodguard series, and I read the 1st book through NetGalley, and I wanted to continue along with the series because I did really enjoy that book. I gave it 4 stars, but this one I did not like it as much. I felt like the characters were way more flat. I thought the writing wasn't as good. I don't know, it just seemed like overall the plot wasn't as good either. It just seemed like it was just a step down in every single category from the book that I had read previously. It wasn't nearly as funny. It just, I don't know, it just lost something that that 1st book had for me. And I just didn't really like it as much as I did the 1st book, which is really sad. I really wanted to like it. I ended up giving this book a 3 stars. There's not much I can say besides it was just a step down. Like, everything that was working for the book a lot in the 1st book ended up just kind of taking one notch down. So maybe the series will get better in the next book, or maybe it'll continue to go down. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might try to find it on NetGalley if the 3rd book is coming out soon, or maybe I'll check it out from the library. But I'm not going to go and buy the 3rd book because I don't know if it's going to be worth it or not. I'm sorry. I really did like the 1st book though. That book was so much fun. It kind of reminded me of Rick Riordan mixing with the Alcatraz series by Brandon Sanderson, which is like a perfect combination, but this one just didn't hold up to that 1st book. The next book that I read was Volume 8, A Fairy Tale by Hiro Mashima. This is my favorite / only manga series that I've ever read in my entire life. I love it so very much. This book is a continuation of the previous volume, and it kind of wraps up that whole battle that I was talking about in my last wrap-up video. It's so much fun. I highly recommend this series. I think I gave this book a 4.5 stars out of 5 stars, possibly a 5 stars out of 5 stars, because it does wrap up that little story arc, but it's so cool. It's so cool that all of these different people have all of these different types of magic, and there's so many different types of wizards, and how strong the friendships and loyalties are that these people have is incredible. I just feel like it has so many good elements in it. I'll just continue to read every single volume of this manga series, but there are so many volumes out, so I've got quite a ways to go to finishing this series, but it's still ongoing, so it's not going to be anytime soon. The next book that I read was Nicolas St. North and the Battle of the Nightmare King by William Joyce and Laura Geringer. This is about Santa Claus before he became Santa Claus. It is when he is Nicolas St. North, and he is kind of a thief. He's like a master thief, and then he meets up with this wizard and this little girl, and together they decide to battle the Nightmare King, and the Nightmare King is called Pitch, and he's basically the boogeyman. It was turned into a movie called Rise of the Guardians, which is a DreamWorks movie. I was corrected many times because I accidentally said Disney movie, but it is a DreamWorks movie. I thought that there could be some areas to improve, like they spend so much time just sitting around not doing very much, and I thought that they could have focused more on trying to overcome Pitch and, you know, save the children of the world, but it was mainly just Nicolas St. North sitting in a tree practicing magic. So I thought that there is definitely some room to improve with this series, but I did really enjoy it, and I ended up giving this book a 4 stars out of 5 stars. It has that really classic children fantasy feel, kind of like when I read Peter Pan. It was similar to that, and it gave me some of those nostalgic feelings of when I was a child, when I was reading books like those books, and I just think that children would really like this book. The book is also somewhat illustrated, so like this section is telling a story, but it has like a picture of a family, and sometimes it'll have pictures of different items. They have just pictures like this, so it's all around great. 4 stars, recommend it. The next book I buddy read with my name is Marines and Kristen from What's Cappenin', and that is Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes. This series has so much potential, and I saw it in the 1st book. It has so much potential, but it does not reach it yet. For me, I don't personally like the writing style of this book very much. It just tells a lot and doesn't show a lot, and so it's so much exposition, and it also repeats itself a lot. The characters for me were pretty 2D, and I didn't start caring about them, or really not, I don't even care about them, but like being really interested in what was happening to them until a lot later in the book. Like almost till the very end was when I started to care or be interested in the characters. So that was almost 2 books of story that I didn't really feel invested in the story. So I don't know. I ended up giving this book 3 stars out of 5 stars because I did like the overall plot of the story, but I just thought it was kind of predictable at parts. All of the characters that I found interesting only are in the story for like a chapter or 2. I think that Morgan Rhodes misses out on a lot of chances to have her characters grow and change and make an impact in a natural way, but instead she just doesn't let her characters do that, and it's kind of frustrating, to be honest. I'm definitely going to be continuing with the series because I have the 3rd book, but I'm definitely going to be taking a little bit of a break between this book and reading Gathering Darkness. And I think that over time, which is like something weird about this series, is that as I think about this book, as I get away from it and get away from the writing and just think about the story overall, I tend to like it a little bit more than when I'm actually reading it, which I think is weird. But yes, I ended up giving this book a 3 stars out of 5 stars. I don't think I would recommend this book series yet. I will wait and see when I read Gathering Darkness to see if I recommend it or not. And the 10th book that I read in 2016 is going to be the graphic novel version of The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This has got a lot of people working on it that have very complicated names. I had some high expectations for this book going in. I ended up being kind of disappointed by it, to be honest. The original book is very humorous. It has a lot of cheesy jokes in it that I really love, and this book just doesn't have that kind of humor. It doesn't really have much humor in it at all, to be honest, and they cut out a lot of scenes that I find to be very important for the series overall, like scenes that happen in this book with characters that the characters come back in later books are cut out, and so I don't know how they're going to do that if they were going to continue with the series, but I think they only made the first 3 into graphic novel form and then they stopped making them. Also, with the artwork changes randomly from page to page, so you can tell that there's multiple people working on this book separately, and then they just kind of put them all together. So I ended up giving this book a 3 stars out of 5 stars because I did like the overall story, and I do like Percy Jackson a lot, but I thought that this book could have been done a little bit better than it was. This is kind of how the artwork looks like if you're curious about that. So it's not like amazing artwork, but it's not anything bad or anything, but I just kind of expected a little bit more. Hopefully the 2nd book and the 3rd book will be better than this one, but yeah. So those are books 6 through 10 that I read in the year of 2016. Let me know what you've been currently reading down below in the comments, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!